Diggity, this is again done live. Hope you guys enjoy it. This is going to be between... I hate seeing these two guys play each other this early in the MSL. We have Hwasin starting in the upper left-hand corner as the Orange Terran. He's going up against Luxury in the bottom right-hand corner as the... we'll see in a second. I actually didn't catch a color. Teal Zerg. Last time I was blue and red. My eyes are failing me. Luxury winning game one, and they actually just showed a preview of it if you guys were watching live. They were basically noting essentially that Luxury got an early scout off and that Hwasin could not in fact see that his scout was in fact spotted, and as a result it kind of ended up odd. But the rest of the game kind of played odd as well, because we saw some Hydralisks out there, and honestly I can't remember the last time I saw pure Hydra versus Terran in general. Old school builds, and Luxury made it work though. Pinned Hwasin just to a couple bases, played very low economy on destination, which you generally have to across the board. And we'll see what these guys are up to on this match. It looks like, let's see if that first SCV just builds that supply depot there. Again, Hwasin very good with both. It looks like he is going to build that supply depot on the inside. I got to assume he's going to go for a Medic Marine build. He's very strong with both Medic Marine and Mech, but again, his penchant tends to be more with the Medic Marine. And it looks like, yeah, just looks like a Overlord being produced right there. And no, I'm sorry, a spawning pool hidden in the bottom right-hand corner, so we're going to see that spawning pool first. Or Overlord first, then spawning pool, so and some speed alongside. No, actually, cancellation to get that 10th drone. So, and I'm completely off here. Wow, this is what happens when you do a live cast. All of a sudden, your build order calls go completely out the window. Anyway, 9 pool from Luxury with gas alongside to get those speed Zerglings. Barracks there to block the front door. Anyway, completely thrown off at this stage. But Luxury, yeah, getting that 10th drone just to get that expansion up a little bit faster, have a little bit more of a solid economy in the mid-game, and try to stop that fast expansion that Hwasin go for. It doesn't look like Hwasin is, though. He's blocking off that front door with that barracks on the initial here, and we'll see if he puts down that gas alongside. I assume he's not going to put down that gas, and the Zergling's on the way, Overlord moving that 12 o'clock position. Yeah, sending out an SCV scout. Unfortunately for Luxury, he is at a cross position, so he's going to end up scouting this most likely last. Hwasin now sending out his SCV scout, and it looks like, wow, statistically both players going about 50-50. No one really sure who's going to come out with this. And I have to say, I'm going to make a call right now. I feel like these two guys are playing at such a high level that either one of them, whoever wins out of this set, I feel like they're going to take the MSL. I think it might be their time. I know Lead is playing very, very well, but these guys have just, I think they want it. And I think their passion, their desire to win the MSL, just because they've been denied so many times. Hwasin being denied more by Bisu. And poor Hwasin, every single time, he'll just play at a really high level and run into someone who's playing the best of their entire life. For example, Bisu during that set, although Bisu did end up losing the mind at the end of that MSL. Anyway, it looks like the Zerglings now pushing out. They are headed the right direction. They're going cross map, but it looks like 2 Marines going to be greeting and a second barracks on the interior. But it's going to be a while before Luxury can really get a scout on what's going inside Hwasin's base to swing that Overlord around. Those Zerglings going to be blocked out in the meantime. 2 Marines on the front door. Second Marine actually pushed off a little bit. So that speed, let's see if that speed was in fact invested, or if he's just going to cancel it and go into a quick layer instead. We have seen a lot of 2 hatchery builds on this map, simply, and actually, I'm sorry, and again, there wasn't a gas down early, so still thrown off by the build. And Hwasin, it looks like he's going to go for a lot of Marines early, and not putting down his gas whatsoever, so going to go with a huge amount of Marines early, maybe try to take expansion, put up some pressure in the meantime. Also, 3rd hatchery going down, still no gas in the back for Luxury. Secondary almost up online. But yeah, pushing out with a lot of Marines, still now putting down his gas. So we're going to put some early pressure out. So 6 Marines out in the middle of the field. We'll see if the Zergling will spot it and how Luxury responds. So Hwasin's going to have his work cut out for him, trying to dodge this Zergling scout pushing out. Now that Academy also going up for Hwasin. And no longer putting, and this is kind of UV-esque here, going for that quick 8 racks, putting up that early pressure, and then getting that expansion up alongside. And more beautiful art there. And we'll see how, yeah, Luxury going into that 3 hatchery build. It's been a while, I think, before he's really been able to plan that. I'm trying to remember the last time he actually went for a 3 hatchery build. He's been relegated mostly to the 2 hatchery builds, either because of the map, destination, one instance, and also or otherwise going up against Mech. It looks like he is kind of anticipating the early pressure. He's got that creep colony going on that front door. Academy produced, and 2 more Marines. We'll see if any Firebats coming alongside, and that secondary now going up for Hwasin as well. So both players playing a little bit passively. Expected Hwasin actually with those Marines to push a little bit forward. Maybe concerned a little bit about additional Marines coming out of Luxury's base, but he's had that SCV scout inside of his base for quite some time. Lair Tech now going up for Luxury. Luxury still not giving any indication of what he's doing tech. Engineering Bay as well as Stimpack being upgraded, and we'll see if we'll see the Firebats alongside to do that front door break in just a moment. or whether Hwasin's going to play a little bit more defensively, just get the turrets up. And he's still got that SCV scout up and along that backside. And I'm kind of curious where those Zerglings are at, if they're just going to hang out at that secondary for luxury. And a second creep colony going down. And it looks like, yeah, now they're coming back home, but two creep colonies down on that front door. Maybe a little bit premature, so even just building these troops on the front door, Hwasin's able to force luxury to get the 2 creep colonies down a little bit preemptively, I would say, and a little bit unnecessarily, because it doesn't look like Hwasin's making any indications to put any sort of pressure on that front door. And I've got to assume that luxury is going to go for the Mutalisks, because he hasn't put down the Hydralisk Den yet, and he is putting down a 3rd creep colony, yeah, and it looks like stream a little bit chopping for me there, but yeah, he's putting down a 3rd creep colony, which again, a little bit, I don't think that's necessary. He did manage to sneak a Zergling through. Looks like that Marine going to be able to chase it down, but yeah, it looks like he's going to go into Spire. Didn't see the Hydralisk Den to get about halfway for those lurkers. 3rd barracks going on in the background, so a very standard Terran versus Protoss, I'm sorry, Terran versus Zerg game thus far. Neither player really going to draw blood. Part of that is just because of the distance on the map. Hwasin now moving out a little bit, but stopping up short. I can't imagine he's going to press out at this stage of the game, simply because I mean, there's just no purpose to it. And still no tech. The layer's up. I'm not seeing a Spire down. I'm not seeing anything off that layer tech. A couple of Marines here in the background. We'll see if Hwasin puts down some turrets, or if he's just going to rely on his Marine force and getting a factory down in the background to get that switch quick, that quick switch into the I'm sorry, and he's also upgrading weapons 1. Yeah, not putting any turrets down because I guess not anticipating. Now that Spire is finally going down, a little bit off time from luxury, I would say, and expected that a little bit sooner, as soon as his lair finished. And a fourth sunken colony going down on that front door, so really going very defensive here. I'm kind of curious what he's up to. Very curious what he's up to and why he feels like it necessitates, especially because Hwasin, it looks like he's got that second control group out, why he feels it necessitates such a strong defense on his front door. It looks like they're just, yeah, common medic marine grouping out on that front, and the Spire should be out momentarily, and we'll see which expansion luxury decides to take towards the middle here. And Hwasin now, he's just kind of gathering up those troops. I feel like they're a little bit too far forward here to deal with his Mutalisk rest. The Mutalisk should be coming momentarily. He's probably going to have the turrets out in the back, and it looks like what he's trying to do is he's trying to position, maybe catch some Mutalisks a little bit out of position, maybe kind of snipe 1 or 2 as they're incoming. We'll see if that's another hatchery from that drone being put down to the backfield. And might even see a Queen's Nest here. No, sorry, seeing the Hydralisk Den. Because I was thinking this looked a little bit like Savior's kind of isolation in and quick tech to something else. Now the Medic Marines starting to push out. Science Vessel should be coming up alongside shortly, because you've got the stuff pumping in the background. Turrets up well in time to engage those Mutalisks. So the Mutalisks not going to be able to get a lot done. A little off time there. So Starport up. The Medic Marines starting to push out the middle of the field to do perhaps a little bit to contain. Hwasin going to miss these Mutalisks that are starting to push around the backside. And again, Hwasin's not going to be able to do anything because he's just 4 sunken colonies, but he is going to be able to contain luxury. Luxury's not really going to be able to push out of that base. He's not going to be able to really establish anything. Looks like some Zerglings kind of chasing that SCV into that upper right-hand corner. Looks like he's just going to rely on those 2 turrets and reinforcements along that back edge for these Mutalisks. But I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially against the proficiency that Luxury has for Mutalisks as well. He's going to be able to take 1 turret down. He's definitely going to be able to take that 2nd turret down and probably get some SCV kills. And now my question is where are Hwasin's Marines? Now they're starting to march in. I expected them to be a little bit further back when Hwasin was playing a little bit aggressively. And maybe because that Spire was off-timed, Hwasin was thrown off a little bit, thinking that, hey, maybe I'm going against the Lurker build right here. I need to push forward before those Lurkers really get built. But he did get weapons